Do you cook with vegetable oil, canola oil, or maybe sunflower oil, thinking they're the healthier choice? Cooking oils are in almost every kitchen. They're used daily, whether you're frying eggs, sautéing vegetables, or baking a meal for the family. But what if I told you that some of these common oils might actually be putting your health at risk? Yes, the oils you've trusted for years could be linked to serious diseases, including cancer. This might be surprising, especially when so many of these oils are labeled as heart healthy or light. How can something used in everyday meals be harmful? Can heating the wrong oil really create toxic compounds? Keep watching, because this is something you need to hear. This information could change the way you cook and protect your long-term health. Before we begin, take a moment to comment below and let us know where you're watching from. Also, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this. Let's jump into it. Number 1, soybean oil. Soybean oil is one of the most used oils for cooking and frying. It has a clear color and a mild taste. Commercial blends often include it because it is inexpensive. About 51% of its fat is polyunsaturated, mainly linoleic acid. The rest is monounsaturated and saturated fat in smaller amounts. This mix keeps soybean oil liquid at room temperature and easy to blend with other ingredients. Polyunsaturated fats help lower LDL cholesterol when they replace saturated fats in the diet. However, they include omega-6 fatty acids. A high share of omega-6 in the diet can shift the body toward chronic inflammation. Over time, ongoing inflammation can damage tissues, push cells to divide more than usual, and create an environment where small DNA errors go unchecked and cancer cells can form. Many diets today feature far more omega-6 fats than omega-3, which can add to this effect. Inflammation triggers molecules called cytokines. Some cytokines control cell growth and death. If they stay active too long, they may encourage abnormal cell changes. Chronic inflammation also weakens the body's repair systems, so DNA errors are more likely to lead to serious health issues. High levels of these signals have been linked to tissues where cancers often start, such as the colon and breast. When soybean oil is heated for frying, its polyunsaturated fats react with oxygen. This creates free radicals, unstable molecules that pass on extra electrons. The chain reaction of these unstable molecules damages healthy cells. The process also yields malondialdehyde and acrolein, which can stick to DNA and alter how cells grow. Rancid oil from old batches may smell off, and eating it can add to health risks. Reusing soybean oil for frying makes these toxic byproducts build up. In one animal study, rats that ate food fried in soybean oil reheated every day for a week developed a 23% higher rate of lung tumors than rats fed food fried in fresh oil. This finding shows how repeated heating raises cancer risk. Reheated soybean oil can also form trace amounts of trans fats. Trans fats interfere with cell signaling and are linked to higher rates of breast and prostate cancers in human studies. Even low levels of trans fat intake can add to long-term health risk. Observational studies of diet and cancer in humans have suggested a link between high soybean oil use and increased rates of some tumors, notably in the breast and colon. These studies look at large groups over many years. While they do not prove that soybean oil alone causes cancer, they show patterns that point to possible harm from heavy use. Soybean oil is found in many processed foods and restaurant dishes. It appears in salad dressings, margarine, packaged snack foods, and mayonnaise. People who eat a lot of these products may get a steady intake of soybean oil, even if they do not cook with it directly. To lower any risk from soybean oil, use it only for low-heat cooking or in cold dishes. Do not let the oil reach its smoking point or reuse it. Store oil in a cool, dark place to slow oxidation. For high-heat frying, choose oils with more saturated or monounsaturated fats, such as avocado oil or refined coconut oil. Number 2, corn oil. Corn oil comes from the germ of corn kernels. It is popular in home cooking and the food industry, The oil has a light, clear color and a mild aroma. Roughly 59% of its fat is polyunsaturated, mainly linoleic acid. The rest is mostly monounsaturated and saturated fat. This mix keeps the oil liquid at room temperature and easy to handle. Polyunsaturated fats in corn oil can lower LDL cholesterol when they replace saturated fats in the diet. However, they are high in omega-6 fatty acids. If omega-6 fats make up most of the fats in our diet, they can push the body toward chronic inflammation. Over time, this low-level inflammation may weaken the systems that repair damaged DNA. When corn oil is heated to frying temperatures, its many double bonds react with oxygen. This creates reactive compounds such as 4-hydroxy-2-nonenal. This compound can damage cell membranes and block normal cell signaling. It also promotes the release of inflammatory molecules that can help cancer cells multiply. Reusing corn oil for multiple batches of frying makes these toxic chemicals build up in the oil. In lab tests, corn oil that was heated and reused repeatedly developed up to 2.5% trans fats. Trans fats are linked to higher rates of cancers and heart disease in human studies. They can alter how cells process energy and repair damage. In animal experiments, rats that ate food fried in corn oil reheated many times developed more tumors in the colon and liver than rats fed food fried in fresh oil. The effect was clear even when the overall diet was the same. This evidence shows how heating and reheating can raise cancer risk. Population studies have noted links between high corn oil intake and higher rates of certain cancers, such as colon and prostate cancer. These studies use questionnaires and health records from large groups over several years. Although they cannot prove that corn oil alone causes cancer, they highlight patterns that point to possible harm from heavy use. Corn oil is common in processed foods. It appears in baked goods, snack chips, salad dressings, mayonnaise, and margarine. People may not realize how much corn oil they consume, as even foods that do not taste oily can add several grams of polyunsaturated fats to daily intake. Some restaurant kitchens use corn oil in fryers because it is cheap and stable at high heat. This means that foods like fried chicken, fries, and donuts often contain corn oil or its byproducts. Regular consumption of these foods can add up over time. Store corn oil in a cool, dark place to slow oxidation and keep the container sealed. Replace your cooking oil after 2 or 3 uses if you fry often at home. For high heat cooking, try oils with more monounsaturated fats, such as olive or avocado oil, or mix in a more stable option to reduce oxidation. Number 3, sunflower oil. Sunflower oil is made by pressing sunflower seeds. It has a light color and mild flavor. Many cooks use it for frying, baking, and salad dressings. Nearly 65% of its fat is polyunsaturated, mainly linoleic acid. The remainder is mostly monounsaturated oleic acid and a small portion of saturated fat. This blend keeps it liquid at room temperature and gives it a smooth mouthfeel. Polyunsaturated fats in sunflower oil help lower bad cholesterol when used instead of saturated fats. However, they are high in omega-6 fatty acids. A diet heavy in these fats can shift the body toward inflammation. Chronic low-level inflammation may cause small errors in cell function to grow unchecked and lead to tumors over time. When sunflower oil is heated for frying, its many double bonds in fatty acids react with heat and oxygen. This creates free radicals and toxic aldehydes. In one laboratory analysis, sunflower oil heated at frying temperatures for several hours produced as much as 0.7 milligrams of aldehydes per milliliter of oil. Aldehydes can damage cell membranes and DNA. Reusing sunflower oil for frying dishes makes the toxic compounds build up. Each cycle of heating and cooling raises the levels of peroxides and aldehydes. These compounds can interfere with normal cell repair and may encourage cells to multiply faster than they should. In animal studies, rats that ate food fried in reused sunflower oil showed higher rates of liver and lung tumors than rats fed food fried in fresh oil. These studies use controlled diets to compare the effects of fresh versus repeatedly heated oil. The findings point to a clear link between frying oil quality and cancer risk. Sunflower oil may also contain small amounts of trans fatty acids if it undergoes partial hydrogenation or repeated heating. Trans fats can increase inflammation and disrupt cell membranes. They have been linked to higher rates of breast and prostate cancer in population studies. Sunflower oil is common in packaged snacks, baked goods, and margarine. It is also a popular choice for commercial fryers. This widespread use means people may consume significant amounts of sunflower oil without cooking with it directly. Some cooking guides recommend choosing high oleic sunflower oil, which has more monounsaturated fats. High oleic blends can be more stable at high heat and produce fewer toxic byproducts. However, standard sunflower oil is still used widely and carries the same risks when overheated or reused. To lower risks, do not reuse sunflower oil for more than 1 or 2 fry sessions. Avoid letting it smoke or darken. Store it in a cool, dark cabinet to slow oxidation. For high heat cooking, consider oils with a higher monounsaturated content, such as olive oil, or refined oils with higher smoke points. Number 4, canola oil. Canola oil comes from a type of rapeseed that was bred for low erucic acid. It has a neutral flavor and light color. Chefs and home cooks like it for sautéing, baking, and light frying. About 62% of its fat is monounsaturated oleic acid, which is more stable under heat than polyunsaturated fats. The rest is a mix of polyunsaturated omega-6 and omega-3 fatty acids, plus a small amount of saturated fat. Monounsaturated fats can help improve cholesterol levels. However, canola oil still contains polyunsaturated fats that break down under heat. When these fats oxidize, they form peroxides and secondary compounds such as aldehydes and ketones. These byproducts can harm cells and DNA. Most cooking guides point out canola oil's smoke point of around 204 degrees. Exceeding this temperature speeds up oxidation. When canola oil reaches its smoke point, it darkens and gives off visible smoke. This smoke carries particles that irritate the airways and may contain toxic compounds. Another concern is glycidol fatty acid esters. These compounds form during refining and can turn into glycidol during digestion. Glycidol is classified as a probable human carcinogen by the International Agency for Research on Cancer. Tests have found about 0.3 milligrams of glycidol per kilogram of some refined canola oil samples. Laboratory tests show that canola oil heated and cooled repeatedly contains higher levels of trans fatty acids. Trans fats disrupt cell membranes and increase oxidative stress. Some trans fat byproducts from heated oils are linked to higher rates of breast and prostate cancers in population data. Animal studies suggest that diets containing heated canola oil can increase markers of DNA damage in organs such as the liver and kidneys. These markers include changes in cell structure that are early signs of cancer development. While more research is needed, the evidence advises caution when heating canola oil. In human studies, high consumption of processed foods fried in canola oil has been associated with small rises in certain cancer rates. Epidemiological data show patterns that suggest a link, but diet is complex and multiple factors are involved. Canola oil is common in salad dressings, margarine, snack foods, and many processed items. People may get significant daily exposure even if they do not cook with it. Restaurant foods and packaged meals often contain canola oil due to its low cost and neutral taste. To reduce potential harm, use canola oil below its smoke point. Avoid overheating or allowing it to smoke. Do not reuse it for multiple frying cycles. Store it in a cool, dark place and keep the container tightly closed to limit oxidation. For high heat cooking, choose oils with more saturated fats or higher monounsaturated content, such as avocado or peanut oil. Use canola oil for low-heat cooking, baking, and cold dishes. Rotate among different oils and use fresh batches to reduce the buildup of harmful compounds. Number 5, palm oil. Palm oil is extracted from the fruit of oil palm trees. It is solid or semi-solid at room temperature and has a mild aroma. Palm oil is popular in cooking and processed foods because it is inexpensive and stable. Nearly 50% of its fat is saturated, with the rest split between monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats. This high saturated content makes it resistant to oxidation and suitable for high-heat cooking. Saturated fats do not have double bonds, so they do not form peroxides and aldehydes under heat like polyunsaturated fats do. For this reason, palm oil produces fewer harmful byproducts when heated. However, refined palm oil can contain glycidol fatty acid esters, which form during the refining process and can turn into glycidol during digestion. Glycidol is classified as a probable human carcinogen. Studies of refined palm oil samples have found an average of about 1.5 milligrams of glycidol per kilogram. When these esters break down in the body, they can react with DNA and other cellular components, potentially leading to mutations. Another concern is 3-MCPD, a contaminant that can form during refining. 3-MCPD is also suspected to damage DNA and increase cancer risk. While levels in food are often low, high consumption of refined palm oil products can raise exposure over time. Palm oil's stability means it is used in many processed foods, such as crackers, cookies, margarine, and fried snacks. It is also a common frying oil in restaurants, especially in regions where it is locally produced. People may not realize how much palm oil they eat because it is hidden in many packaged foods. Some animal studies have linked high consumption of refined palm oil with markers of DNA damage in the liver and kidneys. These early studies show changes such as DNA adducts and signs of oxidative stress. While more work is needed to confirm a direct link to tumors, the data point to caution with frequent intake. In human studies, countries with high palm oil consumption have shown mixed results on cancer rates. The overall impact is hard to separate from other dietary and lifestyle factors. However, health agencies recommend keeping glycidol and 3-MCPD levels in foods as low as possible. To reduce any risk, choose unrefined or lightly processed palm oil when possible. Cold-pressed or virgin palm oil has far lower levels of glycidol esters and contaminants. Use refined palm oil sparingly and avoid regular consumption of packaged foods that rely on it. For home cooking, palm oil can be more stable than polyunsaturated oils if it is unrefined. Store it in a cool, dry place. Rotate cooking oils to spread out exposure. By paying attention to the type of palm oil and its processing level, you can reduce your intake of potentially harmful compounds. Healthy cooking oils. So what are the best oils for cooking if you're trying to stay healthy and avoid the risks linked to certain seed oils? The answer depends on how you cook, but the good news is that there are a few oils that are much more stable, less processed, and safer for daily use. These oils don't break down as easily when heated, and they contain fats that are better balanced for the body. Let's look at some of them. Extra virgin olive oil is one of the top choices for most types of cooking. It's made by pressing olives without using high heat or chemicals, so it keeps its natural antioxidants and nutrients. It contains mostly monounsaturated fats, which are more stable at higher temperatures and don't oxidize as quickly. That means fewer harmful compounds are formed during cooking. Olive oil also has polyphenols, which are natural plant compounds that can help reduce inflammation and protect the heart. Studies show that people who use olive oil regularly tend to have lower rates of heart disease and certain cancers. You can use extra virgin olive oil for sautéing, roasting, and even light frying. It also works great for salad dressings and marinades. Avocado oil is another excellent choice. Like olive oil, it is high in monounsaturated fats, which hold up better under heat than polyunsaturated fats. Avocado oil has a smoke point of around 270 degrees, 520 degrees, making it one of the best oils for high heat cooking like stir frying or searing. It's also rich in vitamin E and other antioxidants. Because it's less processed and doesn't have a strong taste, it's very versatile and easy to use in all kinds of dishes. You can use it for everything from baking to deep frying without worrying about it breaking down into harmful compounds. And even though it's more expensive than some other oils, a small amount goes a long way. Coconut oil is more stable under heat because it contains mostly saturated fats, particularly lauric acid. While there has been some debate about the role of saturated fats in heart health, moderate use of coconut oil in cooking is generally considered safe. It doesn't oxidize as easily when heated and can be useful for recipes where a slight coconut flavor is okay. It's solid at room temperature, so it's good for baking or frying when you want a firmer texture. However, because it's high in saturated fat, it's best not to overuse it. Use it alongside other oils rather than as your only cooking fat. Butter and ghee, clarified butter, are also traditional cooking fats that can be safe when used properly. Ghee, in particular, is great for high heat cooking. It's made by removing the milk solids from butter, which makes it more heat stable and less likely to burn. It has a rich flavor and is popular in Indian cooking. Butter, while tasty and useful in lower heat dishes, has a lower smoke point, so it's better for baking or gentle sautéing. Both butter and ghee contain short-chain fatty acids that the body uses easily for energy. Just like coconut oil, these fats are best used in moderation. Macadamia nut oil is another good option that doesn't get as much attention. It's high in monounsaturated fats, very low in omega-6 fats, and has a mild taste. It has a high smoke point as well, so you can use it for roasting or frying. It's also rich in antioxidants, and its fatty acid profile is close to that of olive oil, which means it's generally well tolerated and easy for the body to process. If you're looking for oils with a better balance of omega-3 to omega-6 fats, flaxseed oil and walnut oil are sometimes recommended, but these are not meant for cooking. They're very delicate and break down quickly when exposed to heat. It's best to use them cold on salads or added to foods after cooking to preserve their nutrients. The good news is you have better options. Choosing the right oils can make a big difference, not just in how your food tastes, but in how it affects your body over time. If this helped you rethink your cooking oil choices, make sure to share it with someone who needs to hear it. And always remember, what you cook with matters just as much as what you cook.